Hey everyone, I'm at the historic Genetti Hotel in downtown Williamsport. This hotel is 99 years old. Next year they're going to be celebrating their 100th birthday. I got 24 hours to explore Williamsport. I just checked in and I'm going to go check out the scene here. So this is what you'll see if you enter the hotel from the parking lot. Williamsport is known as the birthplace of Little League Baseball, and a lot of professional baseball players pass through here as well. So along the walls you'll see famous players like Connie Mack, Cy Young. Here's another one, Cy Young. This is from 1952. And it really goes on and on as you go down this hall. Also Jim Palmer, some local political figures. Who can forget the famous Pete Rose? So I'm now out on William Street and we're gonna see the restaurant here inside the hotel. This is Windows on 4th. I'm gonna be having dinner here at some point on this trip. And as we go now from William Street to 4th Street, a lot of the restaurants and coffee houses in the city are on West 4th, and then when you go down the street there's West 3rd. And this is the local bus, River Valley Transit, which takes people around the city. But I do recommend having a car here. So just off 4th Street, I'm on Pine, and this is Lang's Chocolate. I've been here before, and a lot of the places in this area have that look like they've been here multi-generations, but I would say these ones not so much. So, rocks off here. This is pretty clever. This is a crystal rock and mineral place. I'm not sure how the Rolling Stones feel about their logo being used, but they've also probably never played here, so I'm sure it's fine. They're closed right now, but we could get a look through the window and see some of the gems they have here. So this is the intersection of 4th and Market. Franco's right there is a popular Italian restaurant, which I have not had a chance to try yet. Right here, Joy Thai Cuisine. This is a place I have been to a couple times over the years, and they must be doing well because they opened a second location south of here from what I've read. But this is where I'm gonna be having lunch today. It's really gonna be my first stop in Williamsport this trip, and it's the Olive Tree, which is a Mediterranean, mostly Greek restaurant that I've been meaning to try for years. They're closed on weekends, but fortunately it's a Monday and I'm finally gonna get to try. The Olive Tree is a small Greek restaurant in Williamsport, and right here we have more than a dozen, I counted 16 different baklava flavors. They also have some prepackaged items to go, and then you can see the handwritten menu up here. This is a one-woman show. The owner, Sophia, is the owner, head chef, dishwasher, and server. So this is Sophia's favorite. It's a Euro platter with lamb. The bread is on the bottom. This is garlic sauce on top. And you can see this is on the menu. A handful of the items on this menu have Sophia's name, Sophia's favorite. Then there's some appetizers there as well. So I'm looking forward to trying this. So behind me there are 16 different baklava flavors. It was really hard to narrow it down. I was gonna get honey butterscotch or what I have here, which is the blood orange. So I'm gonna try this right here and let everyone know what I think. The blood orange flavor is strong in a good way, and I definitely recommend trying this. I'm not sure what else to say about it, but here you can see how it's made. I'm sure a lot of love goes into this, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of this and probably also get some to go. I'm at the corner of 3rd and Market Street in downtown Williamsport, and this little statue you see next to me is part of something called Bases Loaded. So this must be the coach with his clipboard and ball in his hand, and you can see right here, Bases Loaded. You can see some of the sponsors here, and the baseball bat, vandals or somebody must have got a hold of it. Last time I was here, the bat was here, but right there you have the umpire, the catcher, and the batsman, and then across the street you could see there's on each corner, there are a couple different statues there. And then in the middle of the street right there you have, I guess you could call those the cornerstones of Little League Baseball. And then right across the street here, you see that bridge in the mountains. That bridge is going over the Susquehanna River West Branch. And on the other side of that is the separate town of South Williamsport. And that's where every year they have the Little League World Series. So now I'm on the other side of the Susquehanna River along Route 15. I'm at the Little League complex here in South Williamsport. I'm standing on home plate and we're gonna check out the Little League complex. So right down this hill is where the Little League World Series takes place every year. It's estimated that the population of the area doubles during the time that the Little League World Series is in town. Right down there you have Howard LeMade Stadium, and then right here are the administrative offices, and then right on here on the other side, you can see right here the flags and where I was just standing in home plate. But then right up here is the World of Little League Museum and Official Store. And inside of here is the museum, which you can come check out on weekends. It gives you the history of Little League, some old uniforms, and it gives you an idea of who played. Teams from around the world come here to play. The World of Little League Museum has been here in South Williamsport since 1982. Adam is the museum curator and has been here for 22 years.
Welcome to the museum. Like most museums are broken into galleries, and we have galleries as well. However, we call our galleries innings. So we have 6 innings, just like a Little League baseball and softball game.
So at the museum, they have on display the first home plate, which dates all the way back to 1939, before the Little League World Series was even played here.
Yep, like most baseball players or softball players, we're going to start at home plate, and we start our museum at home plate as well. The very first home plate was actually carved by the founder, Carl Stotts. It was from a piece of black rubber that he had in his father's basement. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller than a normal size home plate, but it is the very first home plate.
And this is Carl Stotts right here?
This is Carl Stotts right here.
And you told me earlier that the first maybe 12 Little League World Series were played on the west side of town at Carl Stotts Field?
Yes, that's correct. It was played there from 1947 until 1958.
And it moved here for 1959?
Yep, it moved here in 1959 and has been played here ever since. One of the annual events now here at the Little League World Series is the MLB Classic, when 2 professional teams come to the Little League World Series, and then in the evening they play a professional baseball game. And the first year we had the Cardinals and the Pirates, and Randall Grichuk here actually played in the Little League World Series in 2003 and 2004. And it was his first time coming back to Williamsport.
The Hall of Excellence started in 1988 and includes such notable players as Tom Seaver, Cal Ripken, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and even former President George W. Bush. You could check out his roster, the team he played Little League Baseball on. Current President Joe Biden also played Little League Baseball and joined in 2009. And we also have race car drivers like Kyle Petty, other baseball players, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and most notable of everybody on this wall, Bruce Springsteen, who was inducted in 1997. So this monument right here marks the spot where the first Little League baseball game was played back on June 6th, 1939. And on the other side of this path here is historic Bowman Field. It used to be a single A team for the Philadelphia Phillies, but now it's part of the new Major League Baseball Draft League, and they have games here every summer. So this historic baseball field was founded the same year as the first Little League baseball game was played, and the World Series was played here up until 1958. The following year it was moved over to the sports complex, which we just visited, over on Route 15 in South Williamsport. But right here, the field is right here on the other side of that fence. And then this little room here gives you some information about the historic site. We have some baseball statues here. And here's some information on the man who this field's named after. And right there on the other side is the Williamsport Sports Complex. So this has been organized back in 1913. And if you can imagine people playing baseball, this is so small compared to the big complex you have now over in South Williamsport. So across from the Community Arts Center in the parking lot of the Woodlands Bank, these murals have been here for years and they keep expanding. And you can see all the way back here, they kind of loop around and make a U shape. So there's all kinds of different murals on this side. They get a little bit different here. There's a Never Forget mural. And then this is the Woodlands Bank drive-through. And you have all the different murals here. And then when you loop around here, you have windows on 4th, which is the hotel. And the historic Genetti Hotel is on the corner of 4th and William. And through these windows here, if you could try to grab a seat here, you could have dinner next to the theater. And from here, you could also see the murals from the window. So I'm at Windows on 4th, which is the restaurant for the historic Genetti Hotel on 4th Street. This is the vegetarian panini, and they have 20 different beers on draft. They have wine, mocktails, cocktails. And what's really cool about this location is on the other side of this wall where you see those paintings is the local theater, and then across the street through these windows, you could see all of the murals that are at the Woodlands Bank in the parking lot. It's like a U-shaped lot, and all the murals are there. And if you sit here opposite where I am, you could actually see those through the window as you're having dinner. The Tabor Museum and Lycoming County Historical Society trace the history of Lycoming County back to the Ice Age. Here they have a model train exhibit, local farming equipment, and then they have several models here. You have the American Indian Gallery, and it goes all through the history of the natives of Lycoming County, as well as some local artifacts. And this is an ideal place to start your tour. If you're coming to Williamsport, start here. It's located along historic Millionaires Row, and Williamsport is known as the City of Millionaires because of what you see right here, logging. Around 100 years ago, the logging industry was huge in Williamsport, and it led to some pretty wealthy people, and most of them settled on West 4th Street, which is now known as historic Millionaires Row. Even the local college high school team is known as the Williamsport Millionaires here. Peter Herrick was a local lumber baron. His house is now available to rent as part of the Peter Herdic Inn. There's also a restaurant next to it. And here's a little bit of history about him and his impact on the area. So behind me is my favorite part of the Tabor Museum and Lycoming County Historical Society. The Shemp model train exhibit has thousands of model trains on display. So encased behind glass, there's thousands of model trains here. And then this display right here gives you a little history of model trains and also focuses on the role that trains played in early Lycoming County. So you could push this button to operate the trains. You can see them pass through here, and this is really fitting because Williamsport is surrounded by mountains. In fact, Williamsport's an ideal jumping off city if you want to visit the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania, which is an hour or so north of here.